Hi, guys. Welcome to our weekly Facebook Live show. I'm Jen Burson. I'm the founder of Generation PR and the creator of Generation Academy, which is all of our world of training and content and our community, the profitable PR pros community, everything to support the PR community with honing your skills and becoming a pitching powerhouse, and then launching, growing, and scaling a profitable is the keyword, PR agency on your terms, one that you love, a business that you're super fired up about. So that's me in a nutshell. That's what I do, and that's why I show up every single week to help you guys figure out all the things as it relates to your business and your pricing. Speaking of, we just released a podcast episode this week that I think is really good. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what it's called. It's the most recent one. Oh, you might hear me talking on this. Hold on one sec. Also, sorry I'm a minute or two late. I got like kind of a cool email that I'm pretty excited about. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me tell you. It's 7 ways to build your PR pricing confidence so you get paid more. I've actually gotten a few messages on LinkedIn and stuff saying that they felt it was really helpful and they were ready to make the shift from a freelancer mindset over to agency owner, or more confident about the value of the service they're providing and committing to value-based pricing over hourly pricing or project-based. So if you've been hanging out here for any amount of time at all, you know, hi Nelson, you know that that's like sort of the foundation of the path to profitability framework that we teach inside the Agency Accelerator. So that's a good episode for the podcast if you want to listen to it. I mean, even I was listening to it again. Yes, I listen to my own podcast. I like to hear how they're edited. And I was like, you know what? There's some things here that I'm saying that are really good and really true. And I needed to be reminded of it myself and get back into that mindset when I price my services. And so listen, I mean, it's like we all know what we know, but sometimes you need a refresher. And I guess even I need a refresher on the things that I'm saying to the community anyway. And last week I was out. I mentioned to you guys that I was going to Yellowstone with my family, which was incredible. Anybody who's been kind of following along with what's happened there were these kind of once in a 1,000-year floods, and major parts of the park were closed. The south entrance was closed. But my husband, he's he should have been a travel agent, although they're kind of obsolete now. But he figured out exactly the day to go and where to stay. And we ended up getting into the park the day that they opened. And thanks, Serena. I noticed that you were doing some beautiful, travel out in nature. And I was totally drooling over your pictures. And I think you said it was like the best trip you had ever taken. I've never been to that part of Canada. It looked absolutely beautiful. So I loved all the pictures you shared. But yeah, we drove into the park. The best part of it was, maybe there's a lesson here. I guess we had thought about canceling. We were unsure when we were going to be able to get in and if the lodge we were staying in inside the park would be open. And my husband's planned and canceled this trip probably about 4 times. And he's said, you know what, we just have to go. We have to go. We've blocked out the time. And let's just go. And he made a plan B. So he said they're supposed to open on this day. I checked it out. They're still on track. But if they don't, we won't have a place to stay in Jackson Hole, which is where we are going to be. We flew into Idaho Falls and then went to Jackson Hole for a few nights. He said, I'm going to make a plan B, so that we can give them 1 day of, grace if there's a problem with them opening. But it ended up that they opened on time, and the beauty of it was the park was totally empty. And I don't know if any of you we've been making the rounds with the kids on the national parks, Yosemite, which is my absolute favorite, and Zion and Bryce Canyon. So crowded and so busy that it's really hard to get lodging, and it's really hard to even drive around the park or get parking at the various hikes and the various waterfalls and things like that. This was a once in a lifetime experience being in the park, completely empty, parking at every, geyser and every waterfall and every hike, every trailhead. And the animals were out in full force. I think that's why the bison were goring people left and right. I think there were 3 bison gorings while we were in Yellowstone for 4 days. Obviously not us, but the animals got used to kind of being alone for 2 weeks. So we saw bears, bear cubs, elk. We saw moose, which I guess is pretty rare. We saw something that looked kind of like a coyote wolf hybrid, deer, elk, and we just hung back and looked at the animals, and it was awesome. So I think the lesson here is, go for it and maybe make a sort of plan B on something you're on the fence about. And that gives you the security to say, okay, if it doesn't happen the way it's supposed to, then we have another option. And if that doesn't work, then it's not meant to be. But it was so meant to be for us. And just having that experience in the #1 national park in the country on the 150th anniversary of Yellowstone was supposed to be the busiest, most crowded summer they've ever had. And it was like 10% full. And the lodge was empty and all the parking lots were empty. It was a really special experience. So not that the floods are a great thing. They're definitely not. But, they bounced back quickly and it was beautiful. So that's where I was last week. But this week, we are going to be talking about characteristics that comms pros need to be successful. It's kind of funny because these titles sometimes are not exactly how I would word it. But we pull content based on questions that people are asking in this community. And also we look at search volume. This is a big thing now, is even regular publishers are choosing stories and choosing products to feature based on data, based on search volume. So we are always looking to make our headlines SEO optimized. So maybe I wouldn't totally say it. I think it says the 8 public relations characteristics all comms pros need to be successful. That has a very high score in CoSchedule for SEO optimization. It means people are searching for that. But I think we're just going to talk about in general characteristics, qualities, skills that all comms pros can benefit from having. And, we're all different in our own ways, but there are a certain few factors that are pretty consistent across the board, at least in our community and, the folks that I know that are here. So if the title sounds a little wacky, that's because it's all geared towards search. We're doing the best we can, and it's not necessarily how I would speak, but it's how we are going to ensure that the most people that need this content will find it. So if you ever wondered why our titles are a little bit searchy written, that's why. But let's chat about this. Let me jump down to my notes. So if you are thinking about making the leap into PR, or you're already doing PR, maybe you're freelancing or you're in-house somewhere and you're thinking about making the leap to your own agency, or you're upgrading from being a freelancer to an agency owner, or you're leaving, your role in-house, and you wonder what it takes for a PR pro to thrive. We're going to talk about those factors, and there are things that are inherent and innate in you, and there's things that you can also learn. And I think that there is a lot of, I've been in this 17 years, and the whole time people have been saying, the sky is falling, media is dying. And it hasn't died, it's changed. And I think the biggest change all along was the sort of, shrinking of opportunities in print and massive explosion in opportunities in digital. And we've always looked at that as a positive. But I'd say now more than ever, there are pretty major changes that it doesn't mean media is dying or PR is obsolete. It doesn't. It means there are new rules to the game, and we are going to learn those rules so we can play the game at a high level and get results for our clients. So, the biggest one in my space, which is brand product promotion is the necessity to have a well converting opportunity for affiliate revenue. That's just a given. Last year, it was like nice to have. This year, it is a must have and maybe even the number one factor. Like I said, media companies will never, what was I saying? Media companies need to make revenue from their stories that they're featuring, and it has to be quick, and it has to be, a certain amount to cover their expenses. It's shifting away from traditional advertising. Now it's paid partnerships and, the affiliate revenue. And for anyone who wants to learn specifically what I'm talking about, I actually did a masterclass on this inside the Pitch Lab that was all about pitching for holiday gift guides. But it was kicked off with this concept of why affiliate marketing is more relevant than ever when it comes to securing media features and what to do about it. And we actually had a call with a client yesterday, and I walked through the entire part of the presentation about that. And she's like, this is so eye-opening, and we have a lot to think about. So if you're curious what I'm talking about, there is a masterclass inside the Pitch Lab. And then we are also having an expert come into the Pitch Lab next week and give us kind of a state of the state, so we really understand what's happening from the media perspective. So, I have all these things here that I'll go through, but I think number one, we have to be on the ball, on top of our game, be experts in what we do so that we are ahead of the trends. We are building in the changes into our strategies for clients so we're serving them the best. And there was no greater example of that for me and my agency and our PR community than this huge shift towards paid features in terms of revenue generating through affiliate links and what that has to look like. What are the factors that are important? What's the dollar amount that is going to move the needle for them? What is the preferred platform? What is the commission percentage that matters, that will get them to pay attention to you? Who do you talk to get these features that tie back to affiliate revenue? We covered all of that. So if you're interested in learning more, let me know here, and I'll give you a link to reach out to my team and learn about the, hi, Nick, to learn about the Pitch Lab. But we're going to dive into these qualities, characteristics, skills that PR pros have that will help you find success. And if some of these are a little bit lacking, then maybe jot it down and we can talk about how you can improve some of these skills. The first one is being responsive. I think this is maybe one of our major superpowers, or one of the things that sets us apart, that clients always comment on. So if you're a good PR professional, you cannot take forever to respond. It looks unprofessional, slow, it lacks an urgency, and it can cost you valuable media relationships and potential future clients and features. So being responsive in every way, whether it's communicating with your current or potential clients, responding quickly to media pros, editors, freelancers for their requests. What are they asking for? Do they want to interview your client? Do they want images? Do they need clarification on something you pitch them? Maybe people are reaching out to you on your website through a form, and you're answering these inquiries when it comes to your services. Be on top of it. And again, anyone who's been here for any minute of time knows I'm not advocating that we all work 24/7. In fact, it's the total opposite. Be incredibly responsive during business hours. And if you can't in business hours or whatever you feel is reasonable, the times you want to be accessible to clients. One of our community members was saying that she was working on a strategy and talking to the CEO of the company and made herself available at 8 p.m. And he sent her a message on Voxer or text or something and said, I am available 24/7, always ready, and kind of hinted like, I appreciate that you're the same. Well, now she set a precedent that she's available all the time. You can be responsive during normal business hours, and respond quickly to journalists. Stay on top of your clients. If the clients are the bottleneck, you need to figure out a solution so you're not waiting on your media contacts or keeping them waiting while you wait for your clients, because these are your relationships. You've built them. You leverage these relationships for other clients. You can't let one slow client, non-responsive client ruin these opportunities for your other clients. And as you build your business, that's like your value or your contacts. So Nelson's saying here, he's responsive at all times, with his smartphone by his side, super easy, and he doesn't really let it go until he goes to sleep. So, if you're in a different sort of industry, I represent products, and it's easy to just kind of, that's not really a 24/7 news cycle. So I am able to turn off nights and weekends, and full honesty, genuinely, I have not had to work or had a client ask me to send something, do something, or whatever on a weekend in years. I'm talking probably more than a decade, when I said to myself, this is a boundary I'm setting. And I just started behaving in that way, and clients respected it. And if you're incredibly responsive during business hours, or you get to them the next day, even if you decide you want to work late, just send the email in the morning, boomerang it to go out at 8 in the morning. They get the hint that this is when you are responding, and you're responding right away. Hi, Sally. It's so good to see you. Sally was on our call for Agency Accelerator Plus yesterday, which I thought was a really wonderful collaborative call. They always are. So that's number one, is be responsive, but be responsive on your own time and terms. So you're setting that precedent and clients will respect it. Two is you have to be flexible. So like I said, the landscape for media and PR, it's always changing, and you have to be willing to adapt to keep up. We've seen bigger agencies kind of stay stagnant because they are not as nimble and able to adjust on the fly like boutique agencies are. And I always talk about that as a benefit to working with a small agency. It is extremely beneficial to have a small, nimble team that can be flexible and make adjustments on the fly. So if your client unexpectedly adds a new launch, or they they push forward or backward a promotion that they're doing that's maybe been in the works for a while, you have to be willing to be flexible so you can move quickly, you can adapt as needed. And then beyond that, flexibility is going to help you land more clients that you love, like your dream clients. It's going to show them that you're professional, you're ready for anything. With one client we just had, we were really struggling. And I think the reason that we struggled is because they did not have a strong affiliate presence opportunity. It was pretty limited. And we kind of told them that would be a factor. And then over time, it ended up really being a factor. And so we were flexible. And I said, you know what, this is a big spend for you. And if you're not getting the value, I don't need to make you stick out your contract. Whenever you're ready, if you feel like it's time to cut bait, I'm okay with that. And the client was so appreciative. She actually gave us another month and a half. And then she was like, you know what, let's move on. And she said, I know you guys were doing everything. I would come back to you in a heartbeat. We know it's not you. Send us a request of all the products you want. As we wrap up, we were like, ooh, more products, skincare company. So being flexible, I'm a lawyer. I'm not one of these people who loves to chase down every dollar in a contract. It's exhausting. It's cheap. It's tedious. It's, yes, if I've done the work and they haven't paid, we will go after open invoices. But for this client, it just wasn't working. And we were stressed about it. My team was stressed about it. So for the benefit of everyone, we had some flexibility and we let her end it early and she would come back. Oh my gosh. Hi, Morgan. Nelson saying yesterday there was a post in our Profitable PR Pros community. If you are not watching this in that community, jump on over on Facebook, search Profitable PR Pros. We have the best, most collaborative, supportive, and awesome community for PR professionals online anywhere. I like swear by that. And he's saying that Sabrina Childress Miller had a client that turned down Forbes and USA Today because they were too busy. Cool. This is insane. Clients hire us to get them stuff like this. To turn this down is just stupid for the client. And I know Nelson will agree with this. It's frustrating for us because our wins are our wins. They're our results, and it's our content to leverage. It's our results to leverage for case studies and to show other clients how great of a job we do for our clients and what kind of top tier publications we're getting. So for her client to get those opportunities, which are major top tier opportunities, and then turn them down, that's taking something away from you too, because these results are the things you leverage. Our proposal process is 95% a capabilities deck with case studies and results. I know Nelson has shared extensively his corporate comms, capabilities deck, rather than even calling it a proposal. Ours is mostly results. And Sally's saying she had a CEO client do this and he was blackballed forever from the publication. You can't let your clients do this. So if you get the sense they're going to do this, it's jeopardizing your relationships, and you need to have a conversation with them and do whatever it takes. Like if he's too busy, answer the questions yourself. Or if she wants to talk to him specifically, get on the phone with his assistant and say, I need 15 minutes, look at his calendar and tell me when. He has to make this happen. And sometimes there's a conduct clause in your contract that says if your clients pull BS like this, maybe there's a penalty or a fee or something, or you can end the contract for behavior. So we've had a lot of members of our community say they have a behavior clause. So we're going to be flexible, but don't mistake flexibility for a lack of boundaries. Like I said, it's important to be flexible, but that doesn't mean you're dropping everything the drop of a hat for something that's not really an emergency or not really urgent. And in fact, when I reached out to a member of the media to get clarification on this concept around affiliate marketing and how to compete with the big retailers that are going to be providing huge discounts because they overbought and their warehouses inventory is overloaded and it's expensive to have inventory. Their earnings were down. So huge companies, Walmart, Target, Amazon, they're going to be slashing their prices on big ticket and actually large items, things that were really popular during the pandemic that probably aren't as popular, like patio sets and small appliances, air fryers, things we were all like, oh, I'm home cooking, so let me get these premium pans and these appliances, or I'm working out from home, so let's get a Peloton. All of those things, the sales are way down. And so in order to have earnings for the next quarter for their shareholders, they're selling at a loss. So if our small clients are going to compete, we have to convince them to increase the percentage of commission in a big, big way. But I wanted to really understand what went into this. So I reached out to a member of the media to talk to her for clarification. And she literally said to me, I'm happy to get on the phone with you because you and your team have never annoyed me. And then when I was like, that's cool. Okay, we're not annoying. Check, that's good. And then she said, you can't imagine how many PR pros will message me and text me and say that it's urgent and they have to get on the phone immediately. And then they'll get on and it's like, we're launching a new product. And she's like, are you freaking kidding me? That is not urgent. Audrey, are you in our agency accelerator? We have a contract template inside the agency accelerator. And it's based on all of the things that have come up in my business over 17 years and members of our community. And it's geared towards protecting you and indemnifying you and ensuring you get paid, getting paid in advance of service, regardless of results, not contingent on results. So if you're curious about that, that is a template. And we go over in the agency accelerator exactly what you need to be thinking about when it comes to your retainer agreement. So if you're not in there, let me know because that's in there. And for the amount of money you would spend on an attorney Yeah, it's in there. Okay, yeah, search for it. It's in there for sure. And if you have problems, let me know and I'll have someone on my team give you a link. So, yeah, we have all the templates you need to run your agency inside that program. Okay, you're going to be flexible. Don't drop everything. That's not flexible. That's no boundaries. And I want you to have boundaries. The third thing is being organized. So, if you're a freelance or independent agency, you're in charge of yourself, and organization is extremely important. So, especially Sally's maybe one of my biggest cheerleaders. She said the agency accelerator is phenomenal. Thank you for saying that. I think it is. I think it's, we've had great results, but yeah, thanks, Sally. And she's in like literally everything we've ever put out into the world, and always shows up for these lives. So, Sally, I'm so grateful for you. Okay, so you're going to be organized. If you're working from home, it's really hard. You have to have your physical space, your workspace, and your schedule to be totally organized so that you can, first of all, be efficient and jump in and know what you have to do and get those tasks accomplished. But also, who's Facebook user that just said I concur? It just says Facebook user. I don't know who it is. I'm wondering if it's Chrissy. Tell me. Amanda Young. Oh, good. I'm loving the agency accelerator. Awesome. And then Sally said life-changing, and Facebook user, maybe Chrissy Bernal, I don't know, said I concur, but tell me who that is. Okay, you're working from home, your physical workspace, your schedule have to be organized, and you got to be ready to kind of jump in. And I want you to step back so that you can leave this and go into the rest of your home and have work not be following you. Oh, hi, Elaine. And then, it is Chrissy. I don't know why it doesn't show up, but Nick also says, I second it. Glad I joined and has been making a big difference in mindset and structure. Awesome. That's so good to hear. I love getting feedback, like one way or the other. We always look to improve. And if it's helpful for you, obviously, it's just such a joy to hear that. But I'm so glad, Nick, it's working for you. So keep your space organized, be willing to kind of, have that boundary of where your work is and where your home is, and don't let them commingle. And when it comes to pitching, this is extremely important, especially networking with media professionals or doing client outreach. You have to have a system that will let you know when to do tasks, when to follow up, are follow-ups needed? And so a good organizational system is really essential to being an effective PR pro. And the more organized you are, the more successful your life will be as a PR professional. And that doesn't mean what works well for me is going to work well for you. We can show you, we have tons of systems around this, like CRM, just sort of the information. It doesn't have to be expensive. We do a lot of our stuff in Google Sheets so our team can keep track of it, so our clients can keep track of it. Just adopt a system and stick with it, because that will help you stay organized. If you go bouncing around from Asana to Trello to Monday to Slack to Asana, or I already said Asana, or whatever you're using, you're going to just never settle in and be organized. So choose a system that you will stick with and keep it really organized so you know who to follow up with, when to follow up, what's the status of everything. And knowing that sometimes client development, biz dev, takes a little while. So you want to get those leads in your system so you have a process for following up at the right time and reminding yourself to follow up. So being organized, number 3, really important. Number 4, I want to see hearts. I want to see thumbs up. I want to see if you agree with this one. But as a PR pro, you need to be thick-skinned. You have to be able to not let things affect you personally, not take things personally. There's so much that is out of your control. Yep, look at that. Boom. I see. Hearts, thumbs up, guys. Does that resonate? You have to be thick-skinned. So much is out of our control. You may pitch and hear crickets, although we do have a lot of resources inside of the Pitch Lab where we're helping you evolve and fine tune your pitching so that that's not the case, but it still happens. You may think that a client feature is like locked and loaded, 100% happening, and then it gets pulled at the last minute. And I swear every time that happens, I'm more disappointed than the client. I swear I'm more disappointed than the client. And so we never count anything as confirmed until it's literally in our hand or on the screen in published mode, because we know that things changed. So you have to be thick-skinned around that. You may be absolutely killing it for your client and they still pause or terminate services, or they're not satisfied. And you're like, what? We are crushing it for you. We had a client, we were crushing it for them, getting so much press, especially in the middle of like at the beginning of the pandemic, so much so we submitted our campaign for them for an award. I'm trying to see, it's like that one right there. For a PR industry award. We won best campaign in beauty, fashion, lifestyle space. And I was literally submitting our application and hit enter. And then 1 second later, I'm not even kidding you, my team texted, one of people on my team texted and said, oh my God, they just fired us. And I'm like, what? It was like the most taken aback I've ever been. And it's funny, 6 months later, we won that award for the campaign that I was submitting at the time. It was just such an ironic thing. But literally they were like, you guys have been doing a great job. And they had just written us a testimonial, but they said, now that we're at this next level, we're ready for a bigger agency. So thanks for your help getting there. That was awesome. You know, we outgrew you. And I was like, good luck with that. I haven't even seen them anywhere. Maybe they are getting, I don't know. But it's just like, what? So you can't take that personally. I did not take that personally. There was nothing more we could have done. So much so to the point that we're winning top billing in industry awards based on the results we're getting. So that sucked. This was a client we loved. We got great results for them. We were able to leverage that to get other clients in our niches. And they were like, thanks, we're moving on. You can't take that stuff personally. So you have to remember you're skilled, you're qualified to do this. You build your own resilience and defenses. Not that you're numb to it, but you learn to let sort of the bad stuff just roll right off your back. Not winning a client. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, oh, we are a shoo-in. And then they're like, yeah, we decided to go with someone else. And I'm bummed, but I know we did everything we could, and I know we would have been a great fit for them, and there was another factor at play, and most of the time they end up coming back at some point. And anyone who follows Tinks, give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. Tinks, Christina Najjar on social media. It's like all of a sudden she's internet's big sister out of nowhere the last year. She does rich mom stuff on TikTok. Anyway, she has a theory about boyfriends. When you break up with a boyfriend, they either come back or their life gets worse. So I think the same thing about clients. They usually come back. So I try not to take it personally. And having a thick skin, I think, is also just really important, not only in PR, but in business in general. It's all a lesson. Everything is a lesson learned. So as long as you are looking at things like a learning opportunity, Adrian, oh my God, right? LOL, they don't realize the big firms just will pass their account to interns. Exactly. Morgan saying that what we do is basically a sales job. I say that all the time. PR is a very elevated type of sales, and you're going to hear a lot of no's, and that's okay, because the yeses are so, impactful and powerful, and you can't win them all, and you just have to have thick skin and be okay with it. Even if you're crushing it for a client and they're like, yeah, thanks, nice knowing you, because it's happened. So, thick skin. So let me recap 1 through 4. In case you just joined, you have to be incredibly responsive, flexible, organized, but not at the expense of your boundaries, and you have to have thick skin. And 5 is, of course, being a great writer and having good grammar and being really detail oriented. Not orientated, that's not a word, detail oriented. If you love to write and you love to create stories and creative storytelling, and you craft messages in a way that are really compelling and you draw people in, and you can look at something and see the nuances and see how to position it to elevate it in their niche and set it apart from their competitors. If that is you, then you're well suited for PR for sure. And that is one of the top skills, if not the top, is being an excellent writer. And you are painting a vivid picture. You're doing it in the most effective and concise way. Brevity, incredibly important in PR, which anybody who joins every week, I go an hour. Brevity is not my strong suit, but it's like I'm in gate, we're hanging out, But in writing, short and sweet. If you write something, aim to delete 2 sentences that maybe could come in a follow-up. Short, sweet, to the point. So great storytelling, great positioning, great angles, catchy subject to get the editor or writer to open your email. That's it. You just want them to open it and read it, and succinct. And that is a major skill, if not the most important. But I want you to keep in mind that being a great writer is a lifelong journey. And you can always take steps to improve your writing and your pitching skills. It's what we're also focusing on inside the pitch lab. But what I know for sure is that you do have to be really detail oriented and have really precise, accurate grammar and spelling. Like little small mistakes, typos, incorrect details, they can undermine your credibility. Sometimes editors will even forward your pitch to your client, which is savage. It's so rude. Or they'll put it up in these editor groups and put you on blast. And sometimes they'll make a half-assed attempt to cross out your name, but they're making fun of you. Sorry if you don't think they are, but they're like, oh my God, this person's a publicist. Look at their writing. So if you're always spot on with the smallest details, you're going to be prepared for success in PR. Your clients are going to be impressed. You cannot send a proposal with a spelling mistake. You cannot send a response email to a new business inquiry with a spelling mistake. They'll move on. It's that minutia that matters. If you focus on the details, your clients are going to notice your impeccable work. Your media contacts are going to trust you and always make their job easier. But if you are not confident in your grammar, or I think as I get older, I'm missing words. I think I'm assuming or seeing words, not in any really super important outward facing emails, but every now and then I'm like, oh my God, do you guys ever do that where you send an email to maybe a client or your team member and then they reply and you read your original and you're like, oh my God, did they delete words and letters? Because that is not what it looked like when I sent it out. Oh no, that's what it looked like. So I think my mind assumes there's words there. And, if it's missing a word or it's in instead of, yeah, Sally's like, I've done that. I swear as I get older, my mind is seeing those words there that are not there. If you are worried about that, you need to get a second and maybe a third set of eyes on your pitches and your proposals. It's called having a senior's moment. Well, I'm at that level, and it also started for me in pregnancy, and I never regained all of my mental capacity. I still am like, why did I walk in this room? What am I doing here? This is what happens when I write emails. So if you are at that, Grammarly is a must at a minimum for sure, which is an extension you can put on. Even my son uses Grammarly. I'm like, first of all, you need to learn the rules of grammar. Grammarly is there as a backup to check if you make a mistake. Grammarly, great tip, you guys, really great tip. My son is just like Grammarly. He doesn't know the rules. So I'm like, you need to still learn. You have to know the difference between there, and there, right? They sound the same. They are not the same. And I'm sorry to say, I judge you for poor grammar. If I know you're consistently using poor grammar and you're a PR professional, it makes my skin crawl. It makes me cringe. So if that is not your strong suit, get another set of eyes on it. There's no problem with that. And that is what the Pitch Lab community is there for. Plop your pitches into our community. And, I even will go in and tag people that are in the same arena and get their eyes on your pitches so that you're sending out something that is completely accurate. So being a great writer, having impeccable grammar, and being really detail oriented, and knowing that that is a skill you can hone for the rest of your life. It's not just like, oh, I'm good. I did it. I'm good. I don't need to work on it. You have to continue to evolve your skills. So being a good writer, and if you don't feel confident in your grammar, get a second and third set of eyes inside the Pitch Lab. We got your back. You also have to be creative. So it's one of the most important skills for PR professionals. Yeah, Sally, great. Hire an editor for key things as I'm dyslexic and spelling is not my forte. There you go. That's it. If you know that that's like your kryptonite or you're, not as strong in that, what does it cost you, Sally, to have an editor put eyes on it? What is it per hour? Just curious, because I think that will help people see that that is a good investment. So you're sending out pitches confidently, knowing that they are, there's another set of eyes on it and they are buttoned up, right? Tell me how much you're paying for that. So creativity, obviously, we know is really important. Every day is different. Every client has different needs. Your pitches, they have to be creative and fresh and highly tailored to your client and their audience's need. Maybe 60 an hour. I was going to say 75 or less. Yeah, I pay a copywriter about 60 an hour. She's been working for me for like a very long time. She's amazing. So $60 an hour, they read 3-4 of your pitches and put some zhuzh or correct things and you're good to go. So find yourself a copywriter if that's a weakness of yours. So we know that you have to be creative to tailor your pitches to the specific contact and the specific beat at the specific media outlet. There's no spray and pray. There's no one size fits all. You have to highly tailor pitches to their audience and your client's ideal customers so that you're connecting with them based on what that client avatars or customer avatars looking for, or what the publication typically covers. What's the tone? What's the style? Even from day to day, our job changes so much that you have to be, again, flexible, but also creative. You want to think outside the box. And this is where you're able to think about what makes you the one that your clients choose to work with. What's your secret sauce? What are you exceptional at? There's tons of PR pros out there, so many in our community. Obviously, this community is collaborative. We don't, come in here and take without giving because we're all here to lift each other up and we know there's enough work to go around. But why would someone choose you over someone else with your level of expertise? So you want to hone what makes you unique. Hone that creativity, hone that specific skill or gift. We were talking about it yesterday in terms of when clients ghost you on proposals and you're like, what happened? We sort of went through some of the features that this person in our program had gone through, had included in her proposal. And there was a lot of like, well, I'm new. I just started a new agency. No, I'm sorry. You've had a decade of experience and a decade of results in top tier publications. You don't have to qualify that. And so take that out of the mix because it's coming from a place of like weakness and showing that, I really need this because I'm new and I don't need to charge you that much because I'm new. Well, you're not new. They get direct access. Oh, hi, Morgan. So is this Chrissy? Yeah, this group is so supportive. It's Chrissy. Morgan was kind enough to even hop on a call with me and offer advice. That's so awesome. Morgan, thank you so much. Look, the connections that are made are so awesome here. So if you have that experience, what can you look at collectively and be like, I did all of this? And one of the things that all of these results have in common is the positioning or the angle of it is really tailored to that publication or were able to position our clients. This was like an interior design PR professional who was able to position her clients in a way that got them established in their communities as the go-to for their specific style or whatever. That's getting creative as a PR professional. And if you're able to do that, any interior design client would say, I want that. I need that. I need to be the, best kept secret and secret no more based on my work. And I want to be known like this is my style. There's a few PR or a few designers out there that are known for their specific style. They're getting media attention and also leveraging social media to become known. And those are the ones that get brand partnerships. There's a lot more opportunity for you to support them in their careers when you're able to use your creativity to carve out their unique place in the world and what makes them special. Sometimes, how when you're trying to write your own bio, you're like, I know things about myself, but I don't know how I would put it. It's harder to write about yourself. It's harder to pitch yourself. An interior designer or whatever client that needs to be established as the go-to authority, they can't really think of themselves that way. They want it, but they don't know how to say it. So that's your creativity and your superpower, being able to do that. Okay, that's 6. Number 7 on the skills you need are being creative. So did I already say creative? No, thick skin. Okay, no. No, I did. Eager and ambitious. I did say creative. I just said creative. So number 7 is being eager and ambitious. So be prepared, stay prepared, be on top of your industry news, seek out opportunities. When you're eager and ambitious, you are able to stay on top of opportunities and, leverage technology so that you're like first in line. Like if you sign up for Harrow, which is Help a Reporter Out, there are still really good opportunities on there. You have to be fast. You have to be first. So that means you're eagerly checking and that that's a tool you have, you can leverage. Even if you're not winning those opportunities, you're still able to use Harrow as a tool to show what the media is looking to know about right now. So don't discount it if you're not. There's so many people vying for these opportunities. So you need to, be first. And if you're like, oh, that came out an hour ago, you probably aren't going to be first. But you can still figure out maybe that's a good angle for your client. You might not get that opportunity, but you can still use that idea and pitch that out. So if you're eager, you're ambitious, you're always looking and thinking and looking for inspiration and ideas. You're always evaluating your own work and seeing where things can improve or what worked, and leverage that skill and go deeper for that client or other clients. It's just like, you want to be the best. You want to be known in your industry. You're on top of movers and shakers in your industry, where they're going. Media Moves. There's an Instagram account Cision now runs, Media Moves. I think it's still called Media Moves. If it's not, somebody correct me and let me know what it's called. But just being on top, not like saying, okay, well, I'm an expert in my niche now, so I'm just going to ride that wave. I don't need to keep going with the, eagerness or the level of passion and excitement that I brought. I will say, I believe that when we win new business, it is because I'm able to really demonstrate how ambitious we are, how excited we are about the opportunity, and also how much we love the work we're doing. How much I still love my business. 17 years later, I love my business, which is why I'm on here trying to help all of us have businesses we love too, sharing whatever I can to ensure that everybody who's taken this leap loves what they're doing. And I think that eagerness and that ambition to still be the best comes through on our sales calls. So always evaluate your work, bring the energy, bring the excitement, bring the heat. It is magnetic. Honestly, it's magnetic. People are like, I love that you're so excited about our brand. So thanks for the hearts. I think that's a big thing that it's hard to fake. But it's really important. I think clients also need to see that you are excited about what they're up to so that you're not just dialing it in. They want to know that you have that passion for their mission, their products, their services, their values, the founder story, all of that. So number 7 is eager and ambitious. And then 8 is the last one I have for you, but it is to be empathetic. So I know there's this misconception that PR pros have to be extroverts. That's not necessarily the case. I mean, you should be outgoing, you should be able to connect with others, and, be interested in people, ask questions, try to always learn when you're having conversations. It's great to be all of those things, but you don't have to be completely extroverted to be successful in PR. I think I'm an introverted extrovert. I love being by myself. I love being alone in my home office. Sometimes when I go out to events, I feel really drained. So I get my energy from being with myself, alone and focusing on the things that bring me energy. I don't feel energy from big crowds. I feel depleted sometimes. It's tiring for me. So I think maybe that's an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert. I don't even know. But instead of having to feel like you need to be extroverted, the root of success in PR, and especially now, is empathy. So people are repelled and they hate when companies come off as ignorant on social issues or larger problems. They're tone deaf. They don't take a stand, or they're specifically vague. As their comms professional and as your own founder and leader of your business, you need to be able to empathize with audiences to figure out what they're struggling with, what is going to resonate with them, what will absolutely miss the mark. Like, what is like, oh my God, this is, oh my God, the thing that immediately came to mind was that Ulta Beauty Kate Spade fragrance. Horrible debacle. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, give me a heart, leave me a comment. Somebody was definitely fired over that. I don't even want to repeat it. It's very triggering, and it came at the beginning of Suicide Prevention Month, and it was so tone deaf and so awful. Definitely not an empathetic or even dialed in, kind of ignorant on social issues, just really bad. But you want to be empathetic. Oh yeah. Hi, Rochelle. And you want to be able to empathize with the customers, with your clients also, and be able to say, okay, I get what you're trying to accomplish, and I can see how frustrating it's been for you to not get the media attention that you've. Oh my God, it was so. Hi, Rashida. Oh my God, it was so awful. I can't even repeat it. It's just too terrible. But they've been raked over the coals. I don't need to do it again, but you get it. It's just a lack of awareness, and just whomever was in that comms role, didn't have empathy, but they were also like just dumb. I don't know. It was really just terrible. But empathizing with your clients and their needs and their struggles, and also empathizing with the media and what their needs are right now. Literally, when I jumped on the phone with this contact who is a commerce writer, she said, if we don't generate revenue to a certain amount in a certain period of time, we lose our jobs. So no longer are the days when we can write about things we thought are cool just for the sake of it, just for the sake of entertainment. It now has to be calculated, data-driven infotainment that also generates revenue. And that is something I now understand that the media is dealing with. And that's not why they got into this. They got into this because they love to write, or they're passionate about whatever, their subject matter niche is, or whatever they're experts in writing about. And now to be like, I have to only write about things that will make money in order to keep my job, I empathize with them. That's a hard place to be. And now that I really understand it, and if you want to know more about what I'm talking about, inside the Pitch Lab, we have a masterclass that I just recorded about 2 weeks ago called something around landing features in holiday gift guides for your products, your clients' products. We kicked off with a discussion around this, and it just gave so much clarity around why this matters so much right now. Now I get it, and I can empathize with what they're experiencing and know that I can give them what they need to help them effectively do their jobs and, I guess, keep their jobs. So empathy matters, and knowing what your clients' customers are struggling with allows you to empathize with them and create pitches that are solutions for them. You see, it's really important. So you just be able to empathize with their audiences, figure out what's going to resonate, figure out what is not going to hit the mark whatsoever, and, create pitches that really connect and land exactly how you need them to. So that is what I have for you today. I'm going to just drop in a link to our free PR Insider Secrets Guide, which is really good, and recap the 8 qualities of a great PR pro. So number 1, being responsive. 2, you're flexible. 3, you are organized, or you learn how to get organized. We can show you how to get organized inside the Pitch Lab and the Agency Accelerator. We have processes in both of those programs. 4, thick-skinned. Don't take it personally. It's not personal. It's business. Yeah, it sucks, but it's not about you. Don't take it personally. Be thick-skinned. Be able to handle no's. Be able to handle crickets from the media. Be able to handle when features get canceled. You did everything you could. It's out of your control. You have to be 5, a great writer and have impeccable grammar, or have somebody check it. You can get a great copywriter for $60 an hour to get eyes on your pitches. So easy. 6, you have to be creative. And 7, eager and ambitious. And I don't care how long you've been doing this, when you get on the phone with prospective clients or the media, you are selling and you're excited about what you're doing. You love your work. You love their products. That energy is magnetic. So that's 7, eager and ambitious. And 8, empathetic. You don't have to be an extrovert at all. You don't. And in fact, I spend most of my time right here behind my keyboard. I can be an introvert if I, and still be successful, as long as you're empathetic and you can connect with your clients, the media, and your clients' target audiences, and understand their needs, their struggles, and present solutions. So those are the 8, what are we calling them? Remember, I said it's all SEO search driven. 8 public relations characteristics all comms pros need to be successful. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you guys for sticking around. I'll stay on for a minute or two if anybody wants to post a question inside the comments here. And I'm going to just drop a little tidbit of info. I am now a certified high performance coach, and we are going to be kicking off a small group coaching program for taking your life to the next level in all aspects. Your influence, your relationships, your business, your hobbies, your health, all of it. It's a proven methodology. I am now certified. I'm trained in this methodology. I'm so excited. I've been asked to do one-on-one coaching forever. And I know I'm always like, let's talk about your business. But they're like, we want to talk about everything. And so now that I am trained in this, thanks, Nick. We are launching a small group coaching container for our community. It's going to be wonderful. It'll be a 12-week program. We're still ironing out all the details for us to launch. It is going to be a beta program. So anyone that's a part of our beta launches knows that we deeply discount. We want people to go through and have a great experience. We want to have testimonials. We want a little forgiveness as we're ironing out the kinks, but the results, the transformations, they will all be there. So if you're interested at all, like get it on your radar, keep an eye out, or let me know here in the comments, group coaching. Just say group coaching, high performance coaching. So it's not like life coaching, but it's all aspects of your life so you can live a more fully charged life. Having fun, whatever. It's not me telling you what's important in your life. It's you understanding through this process the areas of your life where you might not be showing up fully and how you can change that. It's the areas that you really want to focus on right now, that you feel the immediate need. Or maybe it's something where you score yourself sort of middle of the road and you have other areas that you're really low on, but you're not ready to tackle that. Let's focus on things that are important to you now for quick wins. And we're going to just elevate all aspects of your life with your business, your relationships, your health, your money, your spirit, and your influence, and all of it. So it's elevating yourself to be a complete high performer. Yeah, Serena, I hope you can join us. And you would, obviously our community is curated and we have really good people in here. So the container we are going to create for the group coaching experience is going to be awesome. I'm so excited about it. It's like something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. And I was just finally able to get my certification. So if you're interested at all, let me know. Serena, we will let you know when we launch our beta. It's going to be, for this first group, like probably 50% off of what the program's going to cost in the long run. So get in early, get in often. Let's do it. Let's hang out and become high performers together so we can live fully charged lives that are full of joy, full of connection, full of depth. Passion and fun. I just want to have fun. Girls just want to have fun. So that's my little tidbit on that. I'll let you know when we know more. But anybody have any questions before I hop off? Guys, wish me luck. I have a mediation today in about an hour. We've been waiting a year to have a mediation with my son's school district to help us with all of his services. So I think we have a strong case, but wish me luck because we've been waiting a really long time. You can see I'm nervous. I'm Urgh. So yeah, I'm excited it's finally here, but I'm also nervous. So maybe I'll let you guys know next week how it all works out. Any other questions before I hit the road? Anybody need anything, or I can direct you to a resource, anything like that? I'll stay on for 1 minute. I know oh, thanks, Sally. Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks, Nick. Keep that going. I need that mojo here. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here live. Break a leg. Fortunately, we have an attorney that specializes in special ed, so I don't have to put my lawyer hat back on. I don't know anything about how all of this works, but apparently there's been a lot of violations, so we have a strong case, but we'll see. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you all being here. If you're interested in joining that group coaching experience, it's going to kick off sometime, I believe, at the end of this month. I don't know. I have to get it. We're ending before, it's 12 weeks and we're ending before Halloween or Thanksgiving. Oh, link to the agency accelerator. Sure. Hold on. I will do that right now. It's super good. You will love. And here we go. Oh, wait, that's not it. Okay. Oh, it looks like it's closed. Why do we do this? Who is that said that? You can get on the wait list here, but we also have a webinar. And I can have my team link it out. I forgot it's on a wait list, but it's open. It's just, I don't know why this is on a wait list. So let me know who it is, and I can have my team reach out and give you a link to our, what do we call it? Crickets to Crushing It? No, that's for the pitch lab. Oh my God, I totally forgot, you guys. It's basically my path to profitability. It's a path to profitability framework that I teach which are the 4 pillars. It's my own proven framework that I developed, based on 4 pillars: strategy, sales, service, scale. We go through all of it. It was me. Really? But you're already in the agency accelerator, aren't you, Chrissy? It was me. Thanks. It's like hard. It just says Facebook user. I don't know who it is. So anyway, if you want to learn more, let me know. I can get Miranda to reach out. I just don't know. It says Facebook user Chrissy. I thought you're already in the agency accelerator, but let me know. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you. And I will be here again next week. So I'll see you then. Take care. Have a great rest of your week.